Hello, hello, hello. It's your girl Jen. I know you missed me. I missed me too. But I'm finally here with the week 9 review. This week took me 2 weeks. I mean, it was intensive work and intensive because of the exercise that we had to do. This week was about recovering a sense of compassion, and the biggest thing was that this week had an exercise about blasting through blocks. Now, I'm thinking I'm doing this for 2 months, right? There's no way I'm still blocked. I've had a lot of creative moments, inspiration and a lot of anxiety reduced. I'm like, yeah, man. What blocks? You get me? I'm like, I'm not blocked anymore. But I was extremely wrong. This week for me went straight down to the source of my anxiety around my creativity. They asked you to list your resentments or anger about anything around, like what's holding you back from doing a certain project. For me, like music, because in the previous weeks I was like, why am I thought doing this book would make me be more free and want to do more music, you know what I'm saying? And I was feeling the opposite. So I'm like, what is this redirection? And in a sense, there's a bit of redirection. I have a whole new perspective on approaching my music, but we'll get into that. But back to listing the resentments and the anger and the fears, and it pushed you that even the stupid little fears you should list out, that is stopping you from doing this project. So I'm working on a project. I won't go into detail. Music project. And I don't know, I just had no motivation for music. Like, I have said this in every week. Like, I have barely been thinking about music. And I was really wondering why. Anyway, so I'm like, I'm not angry about anything. How much more fear now? You see, when I start list resentment and fear, a 2-page, and I was like, oh my gosh, I am angry about so much and resentful about so much that has happened in the music industry, how it has affected me, all of that. I was straight up resentful and angry. Let me see if I can find it. So much. Like, even the smallest things, like I wrote, like, I resent that you have to spend so much money on music. Like, I wrote everything, and while I was writing it, my heart literally was hurting me. Like, I could feel like just an ache after I did this exercise, like a pain just released out of me, and I could feel it physically, and I didn't even realize I was carrying that so much till I listed out these 2 pages. I'm here looking at the 2 pages and I'm like, wow, this is a lot. And it was, that night, right? I had a dream. I don't remember the first part of the dream. That was an important part, but I have some very significant dreams. I honestly think I get visions because I have had symbolic dreams and they have come true in the future. Anyway, this wasn't a future dream, but my brain literally went through a transformation after this exercise that night. It was literally processing the release, the freedom of myself. So the dream was, I reached this bridge and I'm crossing it, and it's made of like these thatch like pads. So it's not like, it's organic, it's sturdy, and I'm crossing it, and while crossing it, I see that there's some kind of mystical, amazing world over the bridge edge, right? And but I continue going, and then I see, no, I'm just passing by, and then I see this pony jump from behind this like beautiful grand tree. It was the most beautiful HD 4K dream I've ever had, and I was like, wow, this is stunning. I have to go back and look at this world. Anyway, this bridge shaky. Anyway, and so I start to look over the edge, and I see like this bear and saber-toothed tiger stuck in time fighting, and there's this mystical, ethereal world, like stunning. But I wanted to see more, but I didn't realize how high up the bridge was, and I was just crazy scared to look over. But I was like, no, I'm not letting this fear of the heights stop me from looking over the edge. And I'm braving up myself, but I'm getting dizzy, and then the dream cut. So, I go on about my day and thing, and I said, but the dream not coming out of my head. That is how I know say it's a significant dream. So I go up and chat GPT, and chat GPT tell me, say, this bridge is basically like the bridge I need to cross to get over to my full self. Seeing that pony was like my childlike creativity, my artist child, basically being free, jumping free from, I don't remember what it said the tree represent, but it was spot on. And it said even the saber-tooth tiger and the bear fighting frozen in time is basically that resentment and anger that I'm not letting go of, that battle with myself that I refuse to let go of, that is stuck, frozen in time. And that is true. And let me tell you why I'm going to say this is true. And this is probably a fault with myself. I don't know if anybody else cope like this. So anyway, so basically I didn't reach over to the other side. So there is something, I'm almost there basically, is what the dream was saying. And that whole world was my artist child, my creative self, and crossing over to that success of it, of what I've been trying to pursue all my life. So I was like, wow, and here's why I said, I for sure held on to like all this anger. I don't know, I hold on to stuff. But the only reason I hold on to it is because I'm real, you get me? So anything I do it real, out of love, no strategy, no, you get me? I'm doing it for real. So, that set you up to get hurt in this world. And so I hold on to the lessons of being hurt by people to protect myself, to be like, remember, keep your mind sharp, don't let this happen again, because fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. And I don't want that to happen. To me, you're supposed to get wiser. Anyway, so this week, we also had to read through all my morning pages. Now, I was like kind of terrified because I know I've been just writing a whole lot of bad shit grades, everything that comes to my mind. Yeah, so doing the morning pages, reading them, I had some good ass laughs. I'm like, I am literally a crazy person. My mad, like, a true creative something, right? I was hilarious. I was dying with laughter. Even Tef was dying with laughter. I had to tell him something because it was just so funny. But the biggest theme I picked up was that I'm very angry and disappointed by people. Very angry. It wasn't nice. It wasn't nice to see it. It was not even a cute angry. It was an ugly angry. And, there were things I picked up. I'm overwhelmed by motherhood, Um, but but positively, I saw huge growth within 2 days. Like at first, my thoughts were just so disorganized. It was almost like dark. And I was like, wow, that's where I was, like mental health wise. And I didn't know I was functioning. So it was good to see it back and be like, oh my gosh, there is the way it was written is somebody who's anxious and this need for controlling everything. And as the weeks went by, I let go all of that. I was just living. And I was happy to see it because I wasn't just telling myself that or vlogging that. It was the truth. I do question myself. I'm obviously a very deep thinker. There's a lot of themes in there that were in my morning pages that really stood out to me. And another thing, I think if you are extremely talented, if you have more than one talent, there's a huge battle in there about what you're supposed to do. And I can imagine that for anybody who is multi-talented, because you're supposed to use all your talents and you're blessed with it, so shouldn't you use it? And it goes back to, why do we choose this one thing? Suppose my purpose is to be a creative empire entity, like it's supposed to be everything. Why can't we break against these? Oh, if you don't focus on just one thing, you'll never be good at something. So my goal as a person has changed. Like, it's not even just about music anymore. It's about being this entity and being my full self. You know what I'm saying? So as you can see, I wrote a lot, so my morning pages took a while to get through, and I was determined to read it all to the point of, reaching this week. And I noticed also I'm very critical of myself, and I wasn't allowing myself to experience. I don't like experiencing negative emotions, but I think I have come to realize, and in the pages, I'm just like, that's life. And something about experiencing those negative emotions immediately has made me more freer. Like, I don't dwell, I don't hold on to things. So this week was really transformative. Oh, also we had to take pictures of ourselves and put them, like paste them in their dream scenarios. Here a few. And it was fun. But it was fun, it was hilarious, it was cute. I had a fun time doing it. But also, every time I looked at myself in those scenarios, I felt something in here. Like, it really, as the book says, tells your mind that it's possible. And it's crazy how powerful visualization is. Just seeing me there, not just the things that I want, but me in those situations was, I don't know, and up to now, if I look at those pictures, I feel something. So I'm taking that as a sign. I have now fully committed to my delusion that everything is going to work out. I genuinely believe that. Like, I believe I'm going to get everything I want on my vision board. Everything is going to come to pass now, And I'm really grateful for this book. I mean, I'm not done yet. I have 2 more weeks, and kind of dreading it because there's some grief, of letting go of something that was just this major part in your life. It's kind of like when I watch Sex and the City or The Nanny, and then it's like, oh my gosh, my friends, they're gone. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me still. And yeah, I'm excited to finish. I will continue my morning pages regardless of the book, but this actually, since feeling that freedom, this has been my most productive week. And I worked on music and without this reservation. And I was like, actually that day that I was free, that evening I performed like I haven't performed, even though it's at home, before. I was free. I wasn't trying to control my voice, and it made me realize, like, I know people might think, oh, I'm bullshitting when I say it's my anxiety, but it really freaking was. Like, it was just all in my mind. And it's so funny, Jalil said it to me. He's like, you are the only person holding you back. And it's sad, and that is the truth for most people. But I am happy. I'm happy for this week beyond belief, and I can't wait for what the next couple of weeks hold. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Till you see me next week. I'm painting. I'm doing my thing, I think this is long enough now. And yeah, big up on yourself. Like, subscribe. Okay? And keep to the end of the journey. I believe it's gonna be a beautiful one. All right, see you guys later. Drop your comments on where you might be in the book or what you're feeling. If you want to share anything, feel free. All right, later guys.